Hello, and welcome to the Rock Metal Podcast. I am your host, John Harris, and today on Rock Metal Podcast, we have Dead Register, who has a new EP called Don't Fail Me, which released on April 26th via AVR Records. Right now, I'm being joined by Avril, Chvasta, and Randy, the important people of Dead Register.
To share Hi, everyone.
Hello! Hello!
And together, they're going to be sharing us what's going on with this new EP. So, gang, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
We are super pleased to be here.
Abso-freaking-lutely. Now, I guess basic question. How's life over? You guys are in Georgia, yeah?
Yes, we certainly are.
It's exactly like it's depicted in all of the movies. Everyone has a banjo.
Like Deliverance, that movie.
Yeah, that's the only movie, right?
That is the movie. That's the only one that's playing right now. Too.
Trying to think what other movies about Georgia and banjos have I seen, and I'm closeted. That's the only one I've seen.
What more do you need?
Yeah, that's it.
Beautiful. Now, big, huge honking question. This EP is called Don't Fail Me. We have a track called Don't Fail Me. What is this EP about? What is Don't Fail Me?
I'll let Mr. Chvasta answer that.
Have at it.
So, in short, we have a full-length album ready to rip, and we've just been sitting on it for a bit. This was a song that was semi-intended to be on the album, but we decided to just kind of hold off. It's a song that kind of encompassed all the things that we do as a band, and we decided to make it a standalone single. And, well, a standalone single by its lonesome is kind of boring, so we had some really amazing footage from Ross Brown from our 2019 winter fall tour. Got some great soundboard and video of us when we went through Lafayette, Louisiana. And we tacked on 3 of our favorite songs, one of which from our first LP, one of which from our second LP or EP, and an unreleased song that will be coming out on our third proper full-length release. And we had to top that delicious cake off with a remix from our friends Lament Cityscape, which is their shout-out right now. We were supposed to meet up with them for some West Coast dates in 2020, so that is our consolation prize. So it's a little treat to the folks, our fans, to remind them that we're, yes, still a band and still trying to do the thing.
Mm-hmm. You mentioned that the album's kind of been sitting on it for a while. Does that mean it's all ready to go? It's in the can, it's mixed, it's mastered?
It's ready to go.
It's ready to go. The world just hasn't quite been ready for an album release.
Okay.
Mixed, mastered, ready to be pressed, 22 minutes aside. We need some vinyl, but we also really don't want to release an album unless we can tour to support it right yet.
Mm-hmm. Which makes sense. Then is the plan to release a single as long as we're in the situation that we're in, or you guys still have a release date in mind?
We don't have a release date in mind. We like an album release to be kind of cathartic. So until we can make that happen, we're just gonna give little tidbits and snippets, maybe some new songs and videos here and there.
Mm-hmm. We're also sitting on an unrecorded new album's worth of material too.
Yes.
So we have a ton of music. We're just waiting for, the zombie apocalypse to go away.
Mm-hmm. You can call the album Tantra because you guys are holding back.
Album edging.
Whoa. Beautiful. Now, speaking of videos, I'm watching the video right now for Don't Fail Me, which is an incredible video because it could have been cheesy, but it wasn't. It was cool. So how did you guys come up with this concept that we are also envisioning right now?
Well, it was 2020 and we're sitting around like literally losing our minds, and we're like, we need a video. We have this song. We can't have a real production. So what the hell can we do? I don't know. Let's make a puppet show. Why not? Fuck it. Let's make a puppet show. We're crazy.
We are literally living in our my in-laws' basement, so it felt very kid-like there. So let's go back to April's middle school house and make a puppet show. We had a basement at our disposal. Her parents were supportive, and yeah.
So we made a puppet show.
Mm-hmm. Is it explosive? There's even fire in there?
I mean, what is life without some fire?
I know.
There's a ton of burnt, crispy crab rangoons.
I see that. Panda Express rangoons?
Randa Express.
Beautiful. So I guess it kind of looks like there's a story. Is there a story to this video or the song? I mean, what isn't supposed to fail you? Or maybe
It's autobiographical. I'm actually evil in real life. So at every corner I'm trying to thwart the band, just making it impossible for anything to get done. So it's just really like taking that and storifying it, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm actually dead.
Okay.
And I'm a real cowboy in real life. See?
That's not an exaggeration at all. I mean, dude has crazy cowboy shirts. He wears them at every show.
I'm on the gear section of your guys' website. I don't think there's enough effect pedals there. I think you need more effect pedals. That's funny.
It's gotten worse.
Good.
I even have a pedal board at the drum set.
You can never have enough effects pedals.
No. I mean, if you ever run a snare drum through any effect pedal, people are missing out.
We did a bit of that on the record.
Now, uniquely enough, it says here that, where is it? I saw it somewhere. Recorded by Randy. So Randy, you mentioned you got a bunch of stuff going through like snare drums going through effect pedals. Which, I mean, that's so different than running a plug-in on a track later on, right? So
we did a lot of it. It was actually mostly plug-in stuff. We played around a little bit with mic placement and that sort of stuff, but we wanted to capture essentially the cleanest recording we could, and we did it here in the space that you see. And then we sent it off to our buddy to mix and master from there. We tried to mix it ourselves, but the computer couldn't handle the girth, and it just kept crapping out. So we sent it off after cussing at our computer for like a couple of weeks.
it's a lot of edging for a computer to handle,
It wasn't even it just was taking it was like Bukkake. Commodore 64.
That's right. Tantric Bukkake. Cool. I'm looking up Dan Dixon right now.
Dan's awesome.
He's dope.
He just put out two new LPs. His band, Please Please, and Narcissists, which is getting some pretty big hype now. So you should check them out as well.
Mm-hmm.
My only complaint about him is that he doesn't know how to use vowels.
Doesn't know how to use a what?
There are no vowels in his band name.
Yeah, he just doesn't need them.
Oh, I see that. Yeah. Like RCRD Studios.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Which I guess is supposed to be record or recording.
Yes.
Yeah.
What's funny is that on his recording gear, he's removed all the vowel keys on his keyboard too.
Wait, really?
No.
You should just write him an email, and it should be DNDXN.
It might be.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. I guess my question is, why this guy?
I like the way he recorded drums, and before I was in the band, I suggested to the band that they go with him because a drummer in a previous band of mine had another project that recorded with him, and the drums sounded badass. They were specifically looking for good drums for the first Dead Register LP, so that was my suggestion, and they went with him ever since.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I mean, it's an incredible sounding record with a lot of soundscapes to it. So I'm actually surprised you guys were able to do it in a basement suite. So I mean, kudos to you guys.
We actually are in a right now where we recorded the album. This is like a church. This might have been where Sunday school was held, but we're in like an old, it's not abandoned, so to speak, but repurposed church here in Atlanta.
Okay, so there's definitely some proper acoustics for those children to learn about the Lord.
Get some slappy proper acoustics for them to learn and get hit by nun rulers.
We used to not be able to play on Wednesdays and Sundays when they still held service here, but they probably just stopped holding service here after we practiced. They were just literally the devil here.
Yeah, it's hard to clear out the devil.
You need demon dust.
Demon Dust. Is that going to be on the next album, Demon Dust?
Some kind of animal piss, probably.
What you need is some sage.
That's
brush. Sage brush.
That and
sage brush. What do you call it? Tumbleweeds.
Tumbleweeds.
And some salt. Don't forget the salt.
Gotta make a ring of salt.
Yes.
And then put a giant margarita in the middle of it.
Mm-hmm. Try and get to it. Don't fail me, baby.
Yeah.
Cool. Now, Failed, Lament Cityscape remix. They just picked the song and you guys went with it, or was it a request? I guess maybe take us through that remix.
Well, it kind of goes back to our failed tour ventures of 2020, where we were supposed to hook up for a few dates, and we're like, well, since we can't actually hang out in person, let's try to do a collaboration together and name it Failed, because the 2020 just failed. The tour failed. I don't know. It was just a thing.
Yeah. Now, I guess, how much can you say about the album that's ready to be released, and then how much can you say about the album that isn't recorded yet?
Comparing it to the previous output, the songs aren't 28 minutes long anymore. So we're writing kind of more concise tunes. We're relying kind of more on harmony and melody, I guess, than just sheer metally goodness. There's still some big chuggy stuff going on, but I think we're just basically adding more colors to the palette, kind of thing. Still being slow and sad and loud.
And somewhat dancey at times.
Yeah, sometimes. We actually have songs that go above 100 BPM on the new record that's waiting.
Mm-hmm.
It's like adding some paisley velvet wallpaper to your bathroom.
Black and gray.
Of course, yes. With some skulls in it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You mentioned something about going above 100 BPM. Do you guys write within a specific framework?
Yeah, not necessarily. Just shadows. I try to stay in and out of the shadows, just like my puppet just did. Yeah, that's the answer. No specific framework, just not too happy sounding, not too sad sounding. Any other interjections from you guys? I'm stumbling on words right now.
It's I think it's music that is accessible enough for most people to dig, but still firmly rooted in kind of the goth metal and maybe even slightly industrial traditions. That's a lot of the like what we listen to in the van, you know, just kind of like Killing Joke, a lot of Nine Inch Nails. We don't sound like that necessarily, but we listen to like that kind of groove mostly. Also a lot of electronic music, and we're all into like the big riffy stuff. I like the Melvins a lot and that sort of thing, so I bring that to the drums, just big, dumb, funky beats when I can. So it's funny because every single song we have goes through like 200 iterations before it's actually like it'll get 5 titles. We'll try it at this speed and that speed. We'll rewrite every single part so that it's a totally new song, and then we'll take 2 parts of that and put it in a different song. Then we'll revert back at some point and we'll add a weird 7/8 time part. You know, we play with them until either we're fucking sick of it and we think it's good enough, or we're like, hell yeah, that's badass, man.
Yeah. Yeah, what he said.
Is there a producer involved, or is this all internal?
It's all internal.
We internally produce things, and we're super opinionated, so it gets pretty heated around these parts.
Around these
Lots
parts.
That's
just between them. Generally, I don't call anybody names, but I laugh at both of their terrifying and abusive screeds at each other.
Beautiful. All right. Gang, we talked about failure, don't fail me, the juxtaposition and schizophrenia of such a thing. Don't fail me, but failed. The album that we're waiting for, the album that is yet to be birthed.
Yes.
It is yet.
I mean, it's sitting in an incubator. It just needs to go home.
Mm-hmm.
It's not even an incubator. It's like, what do you call the frozen guy?
Cryogenic chamber.
Yeah.
It's Walt Disney's head, except not as anti-Semitic.
I actually just went to that scene, I think it was in Family Guy, that bit that they had where Walt Disney wakes up and the first words are the Jews gone yet?
Oh.
And they were like, no, he went to like freeze me again or whatever. Cool. Is there anything that we missed, gang? Something that we should have chatted about? Maybe was the best barbecue joint in
We're just
Georgia?
here to answer whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, what would you say about Georgia? Didn't hear you.
Okay.
We missed it. Repeat. Sorry.
I don't know. Is there like a best barbecue joint? What is Georgia known for? Something that comes to mind is peanuts for some strange reason, and I'm probably wrong. And peaches.
Peanuts and pecans are big here for sure. Boiled peanuts seem to be more popular than just regular peanuts, though.
Mm-hmm.
That's like a tourist truck stop kind of deal.
Yeah, I think if I was to say what makes like our Georgia what it is, would probably be like the whole Outkast dungeon family. You know, that's where we live. We live proper in the city, so the influence of like rap culture and like just we're a big melting pot here. So the minute you set foot outside of the metro Atlanta area, you're in banjo country for sure. There might be 2 other cities metropolitan enough in all of Georgia to be considered, a place where anyone can go and have a good time. I would say Savannah's up there, maybe. Where else have we been? Athens is cool. Athens is definitely cool. It's not what it used to be, back in the 90s, but it's still there and it still does its thing.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Yeah, you mentioned Outkast. There's a massive music scene in Atlanta. Do you guys I don't know. How's that been doing since 2020?
Oh,
It hasn't?
Yeah, nobody has played anything. It's been a lot of people have been doing like streaming and that sort of stuff. But like all of the real big metal bands from here, sorry, my face is broken. Mastodon and such, those guys. I think they're just sitting around writing and maybe getting ready to go places where you don't have to wear a mask anymore.
Yeah. What's the name of that power metal festival that happens in Atlanta every year?
Prague Power.
Prague Power. There it is. Yeah. I don't think that's going to be happening for your second year in a row now.
Mm-mm.
No, but it's looking like they have open vaccination here now. So they're saying sort of by the end of summer, we'll start seeing, some of this come back, hopefully.
Cool.
Maybe sooner.
Cool.
Cross our toes.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful. All right. Well, gang, that concludes all my questions. So thank you so much for coming on to the Rock and Roll Podcast today.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, it's super duper duper awesome to talk to you with our two-dimensional heads. I hope you had as good of a time as we did, which we're all sitting here smiling, which you can't see in real life.
My arm hurts.
My hand is cramped.
Time for some magnesium.
Yeah. But it's congruent with our wonderful new video, which everyone needs to continue watching and sharing.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Just ask my wife. I also have a two-dimensional head. Hey. Hello, or should I say goodbye? Thank you so much for listening to the Rock Metal Podcast. I've been your host, John Harris. Please head over to our website at www.therockmetalpodcast.ca. There you can sign up for our newsletter and find out more information about today's show.